Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have a guest on from Quarantine Networking, Computer and Repairs. I have the owner and operator, Brian Mackey. Brian, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Well, it's a pleasure to sit down with you. I know that you and I have passed in the communities here a couple of times, and I've been telling you I need to get you on the show. And I know that this is the new year and people getting ready to do a lot of things with tax preparing and stuff of that nature. So we wanted to talk a little bit about how people can protect themselves with devices that we see laying here before us. And you're the guy that can really help talk about those things. So Brian, first of all, before we get into that, tell us a little bit about Brian, because I know that you're new to the area here.
Well, I've been in technology for a long time. It's kind of like embedded in my brain now.
Okay.
But I've traveled the world repairing people's computers, finding out different issues. Companies like Dell and IBM have sent me to different places, Family Dollar. And now I decided to open up a company in Lagrange, Georgia. And like I said, you can find us at 206 Hill Street. And with this company, I try to make sure everybody is protected. So if they ever want to use their credit card on the website or anything of that nature, you will be confident that nobody's going to take your information, and that's what we strive for here.
Okay, very good. And you're talking about credit card information protection, because I know that most of us that perhaps watched the news saw where there was a major company that may have had a little breach of security there. Yes. And they were talking about the number of people that potentially were impacted. So we want to talk about that, how people can truly protect themselves and know when a site is truly secure when they're giving out information such as their credit card information.
Yeah, most of the time when people ask me how do I know if this site is true? Well, just like your bank, you might want to go to Bank of America or BB&T or SunTrust. When you go to that website, you should see a lock in the corner up there in your address bar. Some people's address bar turn green now to show that they are secure. Okay. And number one, if you always feel leery about it, see if there's some contact information. You want to talk to somebody. Okay. Not only that, one more way to, if you must have that item, you can use a website called PayPal. Okay. And PayPal is great. Your disputes, they won't get your credit card information. It's just a great web credit card for you. Okay.
And since we're talking about that, Brian, we were talking about PayPal and also the securityness. A lot of times when we get those things that may pop up on our computer, purchase this, that, and other, we were talking before we came on, those are impulsive buys.
Yeah, yeah.
So talk a little bit about that, how people can protect themselves. Because number one, I guess they need to ask themselves, do I really need this item?
Number one.
Okay. Do I really? Talk about that for us.
Okay, well, everybody that owns a major retail store knows now that you have cyber shoppers. So they're trying to give you great deals on the internet now. They have Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And so they want to get you out there and make sure that you feel like you might need this purchase, but it's from a reputable retailer, so you can trust that. But if somebody's coming on eBay saying, hey, this camera works, I think it does, and you just send me $50 and I'll send you this camera, I wouldn't really trust that. I need somebody to give me a warranty on what I buy. And you just be very careful what you do on there.
Absolutely. And you're talking about the shopping days, Cyber Mondays, and those various things. And they were talking about how that number have increased with people doing more online shopping as opposed to going out to the actual retail stores and doing that. And again, people just need to realize that, I guess, the more they swipe that card or put that information in there, the potential of them being victimized at some point is just kind of maximized.
Yeah, it's incredible how many machines that we actually see come through quarantine that's unprotected. We see Trojans, we see malware, spyware. We even saw one that came through and said, hey, you've been infected by the FBI. I mean, I got so many calls about this one,
I laughed, Brian, because that happened to me.
Did it?
It happened to me. We'll get to that one too, okay?
Okay.
Now, you were mentioning those Trojan malwares and rogues. Those are various types of viruses, correct?
Yes, yes. The number one thing a virus is going to do is get into your system without you knowing. But there's several ways you can realize that you've been infected. Say, for instance, you want to go shut your machine down and it doesn't shut down.
Okay.
Or say, for instance, you're trying to go to the internet and your Internet Explorer won't work.
Okay. Okay.
Your home page changed.
Mm-hmm.
It will give you certain little clues to show that you're infected. But most people that may not know that they are infected, they'll sit behind a machine and wait
Mm-hmm.
and wait and wait until they get frustrated. You
Right.
know, it's either take it to a repair shop or let's throw it out the window.
Okay. Okay.
So-
And talking about those various types of viruses, there's various antivirus software or antivirus protections that are out there
Yes.
to help people's system from becoming infected. Talk a little bit about, I guess, how those antiviruses work, and is there one that you see in your profession that may work better than another?
Well, Microsoft has realized that viruses is a problem or issues with machines.
Mm-hmm.
People could buy a machine today and throw it away tomorrow because of a virus. So they gave us little helpful tools to help speed up our machines. Like we have Windows Defender.
Okay.
That is great. You just have to be able to set your scan up to run at a certain time and tell it what to do if it finds a virus.
Okay.
We have Windows Essentials. That's very great for Windows 7 or above. Now, when a virus wants to get into your system, those are going to be the first things it takes out.
Okay.
Windows Defender, if you haven't turned it on, it will turn it off to allow it to do whatever it wants to do amongst your machine.
Okay.
Now, with that Windows, Microsoft helping you out, you also have to add your own in there, your own personal. Say, for instance, some people might go out and get spyware, or might go out and get the Trend Microsoft Scan or something of that nature. That is great, and when you install it, you must set it to do what it needs to do, because most people install the software and think, hey, I'm protected now, but you never went inside and actually told it what to do if it finds something.
Okay, so now you're bringing up a point. So, and I heard you mention about if you have like Windows Defender, it needs to be installed, and then sometimes people may go and get their own personal, antivirus and install it. But you also need to access, make sure that it is turned on.
That is turned on and actually doing what it's supposed to do. If you look
Okay.
at the default settings for them, if it says it found to alert, a number one thing it says is, what's your suggestion? But if you click on the down arrow, it'll probably say remove it,
Okay.
ignore it. But you want it removed.
Right.
Get out of here,
Okay, well, very good. And so many times, and of course, I'm not patronizing either one, but I
Okay.
have on my system Norton's,
Uh-huh.
and I know that there's various times when you get the little pop-up says Norton has ran a scan found no viruses, whatever. Is that a common practice that people should see from their software, whether it be Windows Defender or Essentials, so on and so forth?
Yes. I mean, if you have, now we got to get this straight. Back in the day, to get a virus, you had to download something and actually hit the exe and it actually installs a worm, and the worm comes across and bites all your data away.
Okay.
You remember the old time? But the new viruses now, they are behind the scenes, so they're on the website itself.
Okay.
So when you go to a www.anywebsite.com and it's a bad website, you're already infected. That's
Okay.
how quick they're getting you now.
Okay.
So if you have some software that's really guarding you against the spyware or any bad websites, that's what you would see in the corner.
Okay.
Say you go to a www.badwebsite.com, in the corner will pop up bad website, bad URL.
Okay.
And so some people still want to go through that website and it will infect you. But some people will close it down and never go back to that
Okay.
direction again.
And that's probably the best thing for them. If you know that you're getting something that's potentially harmful to your system, just by all means, just go ahead and delete it.
Yes.
And don't go into it. Okay.
Yes.
All right, very good. And I want to come back in talking about pop-ups, because you brought up a point. So many times we may go out, and I know when you're paying bills sometime online, you were talking about PalPay a moment ago. Sometimes you can go to those individual websites to pay bills, and in that website there may come other additional pop-ups. Talk about that for us, Brian, if you don't mind.
The additional pop-ups. Windows has a pop-up blocker, and if it's not set or turned on, yes, you would get different ads because you have, when you downloaded something before, As Toolbar has installed something, or Bing Toolbar, or Sweet Toolbar. some kind of toolbar has added itself to it, and so when you're on this page and it sees that you're looking at a GE stove, it might throw up GE light bulbs for you. You might like another GE product, seeing that you're liking GE.
Okay.
It's all about data. They're grabbing data. They want to know more about you. And once the computer finds out that you like these particular things with the spyware, it'll start advertising it to you. Okay. They want to put it in your face to see if you want it.
Absolutely. They're going back to that impulsive shopping.
Yeah,
right?
the impulsive buyer.
Now, those pop-ups, and a lot of times, I know sometimes when I get them, I just go up and click off, click says no or whatever. Now, just doing that, have I actually removed that from my software, or is there another step that I need to take?
No, it's another step you need to take. If you are seeing that, then that means that you're infected.
Okay.
You know, it's like the doctor would say, it's not going to go away.
Okay. You got to do something else to get rid of it, right?
You got to do a little something more.
Okay. Right.
You got to really protect yourself, and that's the number one thing. Like when you get your system is running all fast when you get it home.
Right.
Your brand new car, and it's running real fast. But as soon as you get on that internet and you start looking at this, let's go to Facebook.
Okay.
Listen to music, Pandora. You open a gateway to your computer, and so that's when the guys are coming in with the harmful different viruses that'll slow your machine down or whatever of that nature.
Okay.
And if you got yourself protected before you got out there, then you are A-okay.
Oh, okay.
But when you got out there, then your machine started running sluggish, and then you want to put some protection on there, they may not see what you actually have on your system.
Okay, so it's best, I guess, to bring it to someone like yourself or someone that can go in there and know what they're actually doing to remove those additional pop-ups and things.
Different viruses hide themselves differently.
Okay.
So if you got a antivirus and you got spyware, it may not see your spyware. Okay. It's just going to go for any Trojan it might see.
Okay. Okay. All right. So there's potential. Specific things that it looks for when it goes in there. Okay. I tell you what, Brian, this is very good information here. Let me take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back because I know that with the beginning of the year, people are going to start talking about doing taxes, and I know a lot of people prepare their taxes online using their laptops. We're going to talk about that. So I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back and we'll finish up. Okay.
Sounds great.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We're back from City Week in just a moment. Welcome back to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. We're sitting down today with Brian Mackey from Computers Networking and Repair, and we were talking about how we can protect ourselves. Brian, we want to kind of do a little transitioning now because I know that people, because I once upon a time did this myself, would do my own taxes online and never really thought about, the software that I was using, things of that nature. Talk a little bit about some of the softwares that are there and I guess the safety of those too, if you don't mind.
Okay, well, it's very important if you do your taxes online, if you e-file them yourself, that we talked before about being protected.
Right.
Some people just, they use backdoor viruses to gather information. So they wait until you file it, then come in and get your information that way. They won't be getting it as soon as you submit it. They'll get it afterwards, so they'll know your information. So we make sure we secure it, make sure no viruses is on our computer, and we can submit it. I will feel free about submitting it. The number one thing is to just make sure you're on a secure site. Okay. I think the e-file is a .gov site, if I do believe, and just make sure you're secure.
Okay. All right. Well, like I say, I know that a lot of people will be getting into that, getting it ready to that, and for that to be done and stuff of that nature. I want to talk as we were, during the break that we were doing some talking and everything. I want to talk more so now about some of the personal devices and things of that nature. A lot of times people may use their iPad, their iPhone to take pictures, scan documents, and things of that nature. Talk about, I guess, like the iCloud. I know that's a holding pattern, I like to call it.
Yeah.
Talk about the safety of that for us, and are there other, I guess, areas that we could park those things that we could go back at a later date to pick them up? Okay,
yeah, data is very important to people. You can imagine if you lost your baby pictures and they're on your computer, you want them off and you want to get that picture again. So most people, before their computer crashes or anything of that nature, they'll back it up to a USB drive or a USB hard drive. And they're the best ones to get, a hard drive, because you can store so much information on those things right now. We're at 1 terabyte worth of data. It sounds like a lot, but some people can fill up a terabyte, you know? But yeah, you back it up to your terabyte and it's safe. Most of the time it's safe because your hard drive isn't running an operating system. So it doesn't have to load up with the pictures and password. It's just saving data. So as it saves data, you'll be rest assured knowing that I can get to that at any moment in time.
All right. Talk a little bit about, if you will, for us like iCloud, because I have an iPhone, and every now and then I may get a message on there saying your phone hasn't been backed up to iCloud, so on and so forth. And I really and truly don't back up to iCloud because I'm thinking, okay, if it's a cloud there, you know, it probably can be infiltrated and people can get what's out there. Is that a fair statement? Well,
technology is always if. What if this happens? You know what I mean? So the cloud is supposed to be a virtual space up on the internet in which you can store your information from your pictures. You can send it up from your phone, go to your computer, and pull them up that way. It's just a big circle which will store your information. Now, in the big leagues for the cloud, it's a bigger circle with smaller circles in the inside. So, you know, it's so you may not want to do that. I would do personally, I would have my own personal cloud. If you want to, you can go to Western Digital and see how they have their personal cloud for you at home that you can secure with your password. And that will be more secure for me if I wanted to use the cloud. Data is very important to people. If you get the right piece of data, you could probably ruin somebody. But so to protect yourself, I will have my own personal cloud versus being in a public cloud.
All right. And you did give a website where they can go and download their personal
Western Digital. Western Digital makes this personal cloud. I think it's under $200, but it holds 1 terabyte or better worth of data. And they just download that to their system and then can back up those important documents to that. Yes, no matter where you are, the cloud is supposed to work. Say, for instance, if you live in Georgia and you're on vacation in Florida, in Orlando, and you take a picture of Mickey Mouse, when you get home, that will already be on your computer.
So it automatically downloads it.
It automatically updates the cloud wherever you are.
Very good. Because there's so many times, and it made me think about it when I was on my vacation in Europe last year, and I just took tons of pictures, and I'm ashamed to say I still have them on my iPad and haven't backed them up anywhere. So, you know, those are things that are memories that I want to retain, and, you know, other people that may be watching, you know, may have some documents and pictures that they want to retain and just don't feel comfortable backing them up to the iClouds and things of that nature.
So that's why you would use the personal one.
All right. Well, very good. Appreciate that. Let me ask you, so many times when we have things that, like you picked up here, this is a hard drive, a hard drive here as well. We have these items and they sometimes start to malfunction. A lot of times we may hear that it may be easier to just replace these things or the whole device as opposed to having it repaired. Talk a little bit about that for us, Brian.
Well, technology is very simple. It's either off or it's on.
That's true.
It's very simple.
Work or it doesn't work, right?
Now, if your data is on this hard drive and it's still working and you might have formatted it or reloaded Windows, but what you needed was on the previous version of Windows, we can go in there and retrieve your information. So nothing is totally lost off this drive. Even if you deleted it, we can still retrieve it. Now, the thing about the drive, if it's not working anymore or it's not spinning for us, then we have to dissect your hard drive and take it to a clean room, in which what they do is take out your drive, put it into another case of the same speed to get your data off, and which used to be very expensive back in the day, but they've cut the price down a lot. But it ranges from $600 to $1,000 to have it in a clean room.
To retrieve data from it.
So no data is totally lost.
So I guess basically to answer the question, it just depends on what the information you have there and the importance of it then in most cases.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
some people have, their inventory, or they have a program that they paid for that runs their shop. That's very important.
Okay.
You know, it depends. But no data is ever lost on that drive.
Okay, very good. And you're talking about the cold room. So let me ask, and the other device that you have next to your hand there, here, talk a little bit about that, because I know we're in this wireless age now.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is wireless.
Everything is wireless. So we brought this here today just to show you guys how simple it is to pick up a wireless signal. So if you have a device that's actually capable of picking up a signal, you can go around your neighborhood and find out who is unsecured on their network. And you can actually log in. You can download things on their network. I had a client the other day tell me that he needs to be secured because somebody downloaded something illegally. And Charter sent him a message saying internet abuse. If he doesn't remove this off his computer, then he will be in copyright infringement laws. So he's all nervous, so it was kind of like a emergency call for us, so we went on over and we was able to secure his network, and he feels a lot better. The speed of his network is faster. Okay. And that's just the #1 thing. We have to make sure we're secured. Passwords are there for our protection. A lot of people want to put it password free. They just want to go in and want to find it. I want to hit the internet and my email come up. But you know, that's not protection, because a lot of people keep a lot of personal information in your email. I tell all my clients, we must put a password on here. Okay. If it's the easy password, 1, 2, 3.
Something, right?
Somebody, you know, they may not catch that 1, 2, 3, but
that's right.
We have to be protected, you know.
Absolutely. And talking about being protected, Brian, let me ask a question, because this happened to me as well. And you talked about illegal, you know, guy went and he was wireless and he had copyright infringement potential there. I was on my computer one night, had just paid a bill online, and then next thing I know, I got this big alert cross saying your computer has been locked, FBI. In order to get it unlocked, you have to go to Walmart or CVS or something to buy this passcode. Talk a little bit about that as we get ready to close up here.
Okay, good thing you said it, because I saw it come across the news. So this is very major. It's hitting. A lot of people have been paying these guys. Right? And the news said that you should contact your local police department and let them know that you have been attacked by the FBI virus. Okay. But then after the police department, you pretty much want to go ahead and have it cleaned off, because #1, the FBI wouldn't send anything that you had to pay Walmart or Target for, you know. I think they would knock at your door rather.
That's not a knock you won't.
That's not a knock you won't.
Absolutely.
But they, you know, certain things that the FBI wouldn't do. So if you see anything of that nature come up, just close it down. Know that your virus protection isn't working, because it is you've seen a fact of an infection, and call a protect guy. You know, that if you catch it that soon before it affects everything and slow moves your icons or something of that nature, it really affects you, your bill wouldn't be that much. He would just knock it out, and you would say, "Ooh, thank you."
Okay. So I guess the key point is because I didn't do, but some people may think, okay, hey, I do need to pay this, and it's not. It's a scam. Bottom line.
It's a scam. It's a scam.
Okay. As we close out, Brian, if you don't mind, someone that has computer problems, real quickly, just kind of give them a ballpark of what your services cost are.
Okay. Well, at a quarantine, we like to help out the community. So when our guests come in, we take problems as they are. We don't charge you for the whole bulk. So if you're having issues, your internet won't pop up, we might just fix it and say, hey, would you tell a friend about us? But if your computer is, you know, it's not really running and you want it to run really fast, we can customize it, put virus protection on it, set programs to do certain things without you even knowing it behind the scenes, and all for a low price of $165. Most people love this price, and they think that we're doing more for that price than what they're getting. And what we're really getting out of them is a great customer. You know, once we find a great customer, they find a great friend at quarantine.
All right. Well, Brian, this has been quite interesting. I'm going to tell you a lot of things that that this big brother watching us can do.
Oh, yeah.
And some of those things are outside the realm of us being able to do, so we have to bring it to people like yourself too. So I want to thank you very much for coming on the show today and sitting down and sharing this information with us, okay?
All right.
All right,
Thank you,
thanks very
sir.
much. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We're back for more City Week in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining for City Week this week. My guests have been from Quarantine Networking, Computer and Repair, Brian Mackey, as he gave us tips on how to keep ourselves safe and we're doing online shopping and by all means, our wireless devices. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're experiencing computer difficulties, by all means, take it to someone that knows a little bit more than I know about them and make sure that you get them taken care of. I hope that you've enjoyed those interviews, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, I want to invite you back for more of City Week.